Fundevogel. There was once a forester who went into the woods to hunt, and he heard a cry like that of a little child. He followed the sound, and at last came to a big tree where a tiny child was sitting up high on one of the top branches. The mother had gone to sleep under the tree, and a bird of prey, seeing the child on her lap, had flown down and carried it off in its beak to the top of the tree. The forester climbed the tree. Oh, hey, we have a woodsman. Maybe every other story has one. The forester climbed the tree and brought down the child, thinking to himself, I will take it home and bring it up with my own little Lena. What? So he was walking in the woods and heard like a baby, basically, because I remember the use of the concept of a child being right from baby on up. So he's like, free child. I'll go and I'll... He wants to keep the child. That's very odd. So he took it home, and the two children were brought up together. The foundling was called Fundevogel. I don't know how else to say that. It sounds right. The foundling was called Fundevogel because it had been found by a bird. Fundevogel. Okay, I'm thinking fund means found. I want to learn what that means. Hey, let's pause for a second and actually learn what that means. And let me just open up a window for us. Like so. There we go. Oops. Maybe this looks better. Oh, let's find out. What? I clicked there. I think I spelled it correctly. Foundling bird. Okay, so... spoilers. Foundling bird. No, I don't want to read a very depressing article. I want to know foundling bird. Really? I thought there was a bird called something. So what does the Vogel part mean? Spoilers, don't read all that. Nope, no reading that. Wonder what... Huh. I guess it was not that word. Maybe that was in, like, maybe that word was German or something originally. And because German's great for like making words, basically building them together. And I wonder if that was never translated to any kind of English equivalent, and so it just got left like that. So maybe it is two parts, and it actually does mean found by a bird, foundling bird. No idea. Huh. I bet one way to find out is if I were to look at another edition of this story, because this is using that title, and the title in this encyclopedia calls it Foundling Bird. Oh, fascinating. Okay. Where was I? So he took it home. The foundling was called Fundevogel because it had been found by a bird. How had it been found by a bird? What? Oh, okay. I wasn't paying attention. The mother had gone to sleep under the tree, and a bird of prey flew down and brought it to the top of the tree. But this was the sleeping mother still asleep when the forester came and like climbed up and stole the baby from her? Like she just fell asleep. She's right there. Oh, okay. We're already not making sense, but that's okay. We don't have to make sense. We're a fairy tale. Not a morality tale, just a fairy tale. Just weird. Fundevogel and Lena were so fond of each other that they could not bear to be out of each other's sight. Now the forester had an old cook, who one evening took 2 pails and began carrying water. She did not go once, but many times, backwards and forwards to the well. Lena saw this and said, "Dear me, Sanna, why are you carrying so much water? If you will not tell anyone, I will tell you why." Lena said no, she would not tell anyone. So then the cook said, "Tomorrow morning early, when the forester goes out hunting, I am going to boil the water." Let me correct you a little bit. How's that? That's okay. "And when it bubbles in the kettle, I am going to throw Fundevogel into it and boil him." Next morning the forester got up very early and went out hunting, leaving the children still in bed. How old are they at that point? So they can talk, right? So they grew up from, I guess he was a little baby, unless she was older. So she can talk now. Maybe they've been like with one another for a long time. Then said Lena to Fundevogel, "Never forsake me, and I will never forsake you." And Fundevogel answered, "I will never forsake you." Then Lena said, "I must tell you now. Old Sanna brought in so many pails of water last night that I asked her what she was doing. She said if I would not tell anybody, she would tell me what it was for. So I promised not to tell anybody, and she said that in the morning, when her father had gone out hunting, she would fill the kettle, and when it was boiling, she would throw you into it and boil you. Now we must get up quickly, dress ourselves, and run away." Just a point of fact. It takes a very long time to boil enough. I mean, I would imagine that it takes a very long time to boil enough volume of water to boil a child. I mean, if you pause to think about it, using like wood in a cauldron or something like that. And moving right along, not thinking about that anymore. So the children quickly got up, dressed quick. So the children got up, dressed quickly, and left the house. When the water boiled, the cook went to their bedroom to fetch Fundevogel to throw him into it. But when she entered the room and went to the bed, both the children were gone. She was terribly frightened and said to herself, "Whatever am I to say to the forester when he comes home and finds the children gone? We must hurry after them and get them back." So the cook dispatched 3 men servants to catch up with the children and bring them back. Wait, I'm confused. Okay. Am I not paying attention? Okay, so here we have, this is the old cook, who's a woman named Sanna. Okay. And here we have the cook. She said to herself, plural. That's really weird. So she's mad, I guess. Okay, so she's talking to the 3 men servants. We must hurry. Okay, so this is just strangely written. So she dispatched 3 men servants to catch up with the children and bring them back. The children were sitting near a wood, and when they saw the 3 men a great way off, Lena said to Fundevogel, "Do not forsake me, and I will never forsake you." And Fundevogel answered, "I will never forsake you as long as I live." Then Lena said, "You must turn into a rose bush, and I will be a rosebud upon it." I didn't choose this one or anything, so the fact that there's like a rose here is totally by chance, because I've never read this before. Where is my bookmark? I don't know where my bookmark went. Yeah, so for realsies, I'd only read that far, so I had no idea this had a rose in it. And apparently she's magical. Oh no, they both know magic. When the three men reached the wood, they found nothing but a rose bush with one rosebud on it. And a forest, yes. No children were to be seen. They said to each other, "There is nothing to be done here." So they went home and told the cook that they had seen nothing whatever but a rose bush with one rosebud on it. The old cook scolded them and said, "You boobies, you ought to have hacked the rose bush to pieces, broken off the bud, and brought it home to me. Off with you at once and do it." So they had to start off again for their search, or on their search. But the children saw them a long way off, and Lena said to Fundevogel, "Do not forsake me, and I will never forsake you." Fundevogel said, "I will never forsake you as long as I live." Then said Lena, "You must become a church, and I will be the chandelier in it." Now when the three men came up, they found nothing but a church with a chandelier. Okay, guys, did they go to the same spot in the wood? And then just like, "Hey, where'd the bush go? But I found a tree. I found a church in the forest." Okay. These guys, not too bright. I guess that's why they're like low ranking helpers. Not very good at that either. And they said to each other, "What are we to do here? We had better go home again." When they reached the house, the cook asked if they had not found anything. They said, "Nothing but a church with a chandelier in it." "You fools," screamed the cook, "why did you not destroy the church and bring me the chandelier?" Then the old cook put her best foot foremost and started herself with the three men in pursuit of the children. Now how much time... Okay, so the father, the forestman, he went out to work, I guess. And he would be out all day. And maybe it was very, very early in the morning when the kids ran away. And then they went to the woods, and then they were chased forward and then back, and then forward and then back again, with the rosebush not knowing, and then the church not knowing. And now they're going for a third time out into the woods. So like a lot of time has passed, but maybe it's still morning. How many hours did they spend wandering, looking around? I think of these things. It matters. But the children saw the three men in the distance, and the old cook waddling behind them. Okay. Then said Lena, "Fundevogel, do not forsake me, and I will never forsake you." That better be an important phrase. And he said, "I will never forsake you as long as I live." Lena said, "You must become a pond, and I will be the duck swimming upon it." Dude, really? Okay. When the cook reached the pond, she lay down beside it to drink it up, but the duck swam quickly forward, seized her head with its bill, and dragged her under water, so the old witch was drowned. Then the children went home together as happy as possible, and if they are not dead yet, then they are still alive. I don't understand.